If Nelly had known that the two people she loved the most would break her heart, she would never have let them into her life. If she had known that Kiki was not just her best friend but her biggest enemy, maybe she would have walked away. But she didn't know, and now it was too late. Nelly was a young woman from Edo State. She was calm, soft-spoken, and kind to everyone she met. Her mother died when she was still a baby, so she grew up with her grandmother, Mama Ima, who raised her with love and discipline. Life was not easy, but Nelly never complained. After school every day, Nelly sold bread on the streets to support herself and her grandmother. Even with all the stress, she still finished top of her class. People admired her strength, but Nelly only believed she was doing what she had to do to survive. Kiki entered Nelly's life in JSS 2. Kiki was loud, playful, and full of life. She had many friends, yet she chose quiet Nelly as her closest friend. From that day, the two girls became inseparable. Together, played together, and even shared clothes. Kiki would often say, "You're the sister I never had." They promised each other they would be best friends forever. But forever is a long time, and sometimes forever lies. People in the village called them twins by heart. When Nelly had no food, Kiki shared hers. When Kiki struggled with mathematics, Nelly stayed up late teaching her. Even their birthdays were only 3 days apart, so they celebrated together every year. As they grew older, their dreams began to change. Kiki wanted to leave the village and become a fashion designer in the city. Nelly only wanted a peaceful life, a loving husband, and a quiet home. After secondary school, both girls moved to the city. Kiki worked in a fashion shop, while Nelly helped her aunt sell a car at Ring Road. They still lived together in one small room. They still laughed every night and shared secrets. Everything stayed the same until Nelly met Santo. Nelly met Santo on a hot Thursday afternoon while packing leftover akara. A white car stopped in front of her table, and a tall, fair man asked gently, "Please, can I get akara and pap?" Nelly smiled shyly and served him. He paid with 5,000 naira and said, "Keep the change." Nelly was shocked. That money was more than she made in a full day. The man returned the next day and the next. Soon, Nelly realized he wasn't coming for food anymore. He was coming for her. His name was Santo. He worked with a building company and was 10 years older than Nelly. He made her feel safe. When she told Kiki, her friend screamed with excitement. But deep inside Kiki's heart, something dark had already begun to grow. Santo and Nelly became close. He bought her gifts, took her out, and helped her aunt financially. One day he said, "I want to marry you. You have peace in your eyes." Nelly believed him with all her heart. After 6 months, Santo took her to meet his family. That was when Nelly met Mama Santo. The woman looked at her from head to toe and didn't smile once. Later, she told Santo she didn't trust quiet girls and refused the marriage. Santo told Nelly not to worry. "My mother will come around. I love you." Nelly believed him. But Mama Santo had already started her own plan. Soon, Santo began visiting less. His calls reduced. His voice sounded distant. Nelly worried, but Kiki kept saying, "Men are like that." One night, Nelly woke up and saw Kiki smiling at her phone under the blanket. One afternoon at the market, Nelly looked up and saw something that froze her heart. Kiki was standing by the road, laughing and holding Santo's arm, the same arm Nelly used to hold. She watched them enter his car and drive away. That night, Kiki acted normal. She even brought Suya home. But Nelly didn't sleep. Her heart already knew the truth. The next morning, while Kiki was bathing, Nelly opened her phone. The messages confirmed everything. Her best friend and her lover were secretly together. When confronted, Kiki showed no shame. "If you were good enough, he wouldn't have come to me," she said coldly. That evening, Santo blamed Nelly instead and walked away without apology. The next day, Nelly found her belongings outside the room. Kiki told her she could no longer stay there. Nelly walked the streets that night with nothing but tears and pain. She slept on a bench until an old woman, Mama Titi, noticed her. Mama Titi offered her food, shelter, and silence. Slowly, Nelly began to heal. 2 weeks later, Nelly saw a wedding poster. Santo and Kiki were getting married. 4 days away, her pain returned like fire. An invitation soon followed, written with fake love. Nelly broke down completely. Even Mama Santo later came to warn her not to attend the wedding. On the wedding day, the city celebrated while Nelly sat quietly, broken but breathing. Days later, a perfume gift arrived from Kiki with a note saying, "No hard feelings." Nelly threw it away. Before sunrise one morning, Nelly packed her few clothes and left without telling anyone where she was going. She disappeared like smoke. Till today, no one knows where Nelly is. But one thing is certain, she never came back for revenge. Because some betrayals punish themselves.